Hi, and welcome back to Blue's Garden. It's the beginning of September, and I can safely say I'm alive, which was a scary thing for a few minutes there yesterday. Um, I'm allergic to bees, and I was out seeding two different kinds of lettuce and some basil, and originally going to collect some oregano seed, but I'm not doing that because it's pouring today. But yesterday, while I was seeding everything, I got stung by a bee. Now, last time I got stung by a bee in the middle of some fingers, my hand was probably, I don't know, 3 times as thick as normal, and I couldn't bend my wrist or move my fingers. The time before that, I actually was following behind a tractor and picking up some potatoes, and one of the potatoes was actually an underground hive, and I spent some time in the hospital. Um, I am allergic, so got stung in the middle of the forehead, and immediately came inside, called my wife downstairs. She gave me some liquid Benadryl. I just stayed on the couch, didn't move for a little bit, and it turned out I did not swell up. So the funny thing is, when I came inside, I said to her, "Can you tell me if I've been stung by a bee?" And she said, "Well, there's a bee still stuck in your forehead with its feet going like crazy trying to get out of your." So I'm going to guess yes. It was actually a yellow jacket, which is really a wasp, but anyway, I'm alive. So this is a recap video of the early September where I do some weeding, pick some cukes, pick some peppers, pick some tomatoes, do some more weeding and more weeding. I also got out and picked some local beach plums. Now, it was a bad year for fruit for me, but very excited to see some beach plums, not anywhere near, probably half as much as I normally get, but I actually picked some beach plums. And this is one of my secret stashes of beach plums. Well, not anywhere near as much as what I've seen in years past. I will harvest some, take them home, clean the leaves out, wash them off, rinse them off, remove any of the cracked and broken ones and rotten ones that I accidentally picked. I got a decent amount, probably about 6.5 cups, something like that, from this day's batch. And here I'm just going to give them a rinse, like I said, take any leaves out, any of the rotted ones out. I got a decent amount, nowhere near what I normally do, but here I am just picking stems and branches and twigs and leaves out. Give them all a decent rinse. Any of the rotten ones get tossed out. Bag them up. And once they're bagged up, these will get, here I am. Just rinse some more off to get them all in. And it's important not to have any of the rotted ones or broken ones or cracked ones or any of that in there. But and then bag them up, like I said, and get them in the freezer. I will deal with making jams and jellies when it's not so warm out. Usually that's October. I do a lot of jams and jellies in October. Beach plums are picked, rinsed off, picked out any of the leaves, picked out any of the bad fruit, tossed that out, and in the freezer. When I get enough, I'm going to try and get out a couple more times this week. I've got a couple more places to look. These are not my normal places where I go. Normal place was empty. Just bad amount of fruit. I've been looking all summer. So, what's up next is let's take a look at my garden where I actually do some weeding and picking and harvesting. And my weekly maintenance, as I call it, just tying up any of the tomato branches that slip free. Make sure that they are not going to get knocked in the pathways. Do some weeding over here in my cucumber patch. Just really give it a once over. It's getting towards the end of the cucumber season for me anyway. Like I said last week, I had one that went fully ripe that I didn't see, which pretty much killed that plant. So I only have 3. What do I have, 3 or 4 left? Did I have 5 or 4 or 5? I don't know. Anyway, one of them's dead. And just weed some of the others out. And then pick some cucumbers. So first get rid of the weeds. Some of those, if I have seed on any of them, the seed gets cut off. Does not go in the... None of this stuff is diseased, the weeds. They never die of disease. If I had any seeds, I would cut the seed heads off, and then the rest just cut up into my compost. And just picking some cucumbers that I have. Mostly what I got was some Muncher and Sumter, I think, are the 2 varieties that I picked. Yeah, just going through some peppers. These are the habanadas that I'm just picking some small ones here that seem to be ripe. A couple of them that have some color. And I didn't get too many lemon AUG, a few. Not a lot, but a few. Got some tomato, got plenty of tomato. I get some more cherry tomato, sweetie. Some of the white cherry. Those are good. I'm going to plant more of those. I'm actually going to cut the number of varieties that I grow next year. Cut them down. I'm probably the part where I was just picking those cherry tomatoes. That may turn into a raised bed. That might be. So this is my first ever successful eggplant. I've grown tons of eggplant before, but either rats or mice or squirrels or something take bites out of it. So that's my first ever successful eggplant. I've got them in a cage this year, and that's helping. And I got a bunch more ready to go. Bunch of raspberries. And I've been horrible this summer. Haven't had much, but suddenly the last couple of weeks they've come on. Enough so that I'm freezing about a small half bowl and picking about a bowl each week. Probably twice a week, I should say. Which is not as much as I like. Usually we were getting at my peak last summer. I think I was getting about a bowl every day, every other day. But this is enough so that I can freeze some, make a small batch of raspberry jam. So, a small little harvest for today. I got some cukes. Things need to get washed. I also got one of my baby boo pumpkin and the eggplant, some lemon aiji, lots of cherry tomatoes. Like I said, I've been getting raspberries finally. It took forever. And that first ever successful long purple eggplant. Harvesting is done, a little bit of weeding is done, some stuff in the compost, and I actually got a chance to get out and seed some couple of different kinds of lettuce and seed some basil, which I try and do every 3 weeks or so. Put more lettuce in, more basil, just kind of rotate the crop through, because as you pick it, you can cut and come again on some of the lettuce, but after a while it really does die back. And it's fall, and that actually is a really good time to do some lettuce. It crisps up. The cooler nights really help the lettuce grow. Unfortunately, I did not collect the oregano seeds. I let it go to seed. I was going to correct some. But as I mentioned, I got stung. And here we are, start of the excitement for the day. I planted some basil, Italian large leaf basil. I have some Greek basil that I did not do, but this is a batch of Italian large leaf basil, the big basil that most people think of, like the Genevieve. Found a little something in there that I'll throw in the compost bin, just some roots or whatever, and some red romaine lettuce. I will do this every 2-3 weeks, more like every 3 weeks. And I actually will, these planters, when it gets too cold outside, I'll bring them inside. And I actually will grow the lettuce and some herbs, a couple of different kinds of lettuce and some herbs all winter long on my grow lights. This is where things get exciting. Little gem butterhead lettuce goes in, lots of seed goes in, and then I bring this bin over to the shelf where my herbs are, and things go horribly wrong. It's in, give it a nice pat, good contact with the soil, and then I will carry this bin over, and I'm just out of the camera shot, but you can start to see my arm flailing around. And I've got my hat out because a bee is buzzing me. And then this is where all the swearing starts. I have edited that part out. So I deleted a lot of the audio, and I deleted all of the swearing and flapping my arms, and that first thing I said, I dropped S-bomb, S-bomb, S-bomb. I knew that I was in trouble yesterday when I got stung. Luckily, I actually didn't turn out to have a problem at all. It's possible that every time I've been stung, I've got less and less of a reaction. I was fairly calm. Maybe I didn't get stung that deeply. Maybe he didn't really sting me. I don't know. He did die an ugly death when I swatted him finally out of my forehead. Anyway, there's no need for me to go into all the details, just to say that sat down, remained calm, had some Benadryl and a topical Benadryl on there, and just a calm half an hour, realized there was nothing going on. My daughter sat with me. I had my phone in my hand just in case I needed to call 911. It all turned out well in the end. It was a little scary for me at the time. I'm always aware of bees and always conscious of it. And I'm wondering if over on my herb shelf there's something going on, because there were a lot of bees. There were also bumblebees over there and a bunch of yellow jackets. And it could be that behind the herbs is potato, and they're flowering. Some of the herbs are flowering. Some of the basil and oregano and parsley is flowering. So there's just a lot of bees around there. Maybe that's it. Or maybe underneath the herb shelf, the 3-tiered shelf that I've built, is a nest of some kind. I haven't looked deeply, and I will eventually. But as I said, all turned out well. I am grateful that everything was fine. Not to worry. It did throw me for a loop yesterday, but I'm feeling better today. Actually, felt nothing after more than an hour. No pain, even no swelling or anything. So that was good. All turned out well. And well, unfortunately, it's pouring today, which means I cannot collect my oregano seeds. But perhaps that'll be in next week's video if it dries out a little. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. That helps me to grow, and that helps you to grow.